Mine is yours.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity, Mr. Aryun. So guys, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sakina Amalia Pratiwi. Actually now, yeah, I'm a teacher um, in a school, but I'm still waiting for uh, the formal registration as teacher candidate. Yeah. Okay, so this nice meeting tonight. This is my first time to be a moderator in OTA's weekly sharing. So I hope we can enjoy this meeting, guys. We would like to discuss together, sharing our thoughts or some our opinions about social emotional for a better educational experience. So we would like to make a definition. What are the social emotional skills that we would like to discuss together? Um, From the slide, we know that social emotional is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotion. But it's not only discuss about how to we express our feeling, but more than that, we are talking about creativity, curiosity, managing emotion, persistence, teamwork, and sociability. And in more detail, guys, actually, I've joined one of the international, what is that? Dissemination held by OECD, just international survey, but I've joined through online about social and emotional skills itself. So actually, there are five skills that are really measured in this kind of, yeah, in this kind of survey. They are, the first one is task performance skills, such as persistence, responsibility, self-control, and achievement motivation. The second one is about emotional regulation skills, such as stress resistance, emotional control, and optimism. And the third one is how we engaging with other skills, in case of assertiveness, sociability, and
Bukaan Instagram.
energy.
Ota
So
community ya.
the next one is open-minded
Setiap minggu.
skills,
Dan ini gratisnya pun ikut.
such as assertiveness,
Bebas, siapapun mau
sociability,
ikut.
and energy.
Enggak, bebas. Boleh.
I'm sorry, Mister.
Jadi,
Okay.
halo, halo.
Oh, okay. Okay. The last one is collaboration skill, such as empathy and trust. So more than how to express our feeling, these skills that are measured in this international survey that we would like to dig deeper and give our each of us about our opinion about this. So the first question, everyone, why is developing emotional intelligence important according to your thought or any opinions? Would you like to share about your thought? Anyone? Um, Maybe I want to hear from Miss Sophie. Are you there, Miss Sophie? Oh, there is no response. Yeah. Okay. Please, Mr. Oker.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so why is developing emotional intelligence important? I would say largely because like we always live in a community. Like whether we live in a dormitory as students or at home with our family, we're always around with other people, and therefore we need to be able to work with them, live with them, and we need to understand them. And therefore, I would say one of the most important skills would be sympathy. And you can't have sympathy without the emotional intelligence around it. So being able to correctly read the situations on an emotional level, not just objective level, and making your decisions based on that and how you treat the people around you, like actually understanding, okay, like they're having a bad day, maybe I tone down my humor a little bit, or or I don't do anything that might trigger them even further. Understanding these situations and properly applying the correct behavior is what I would consider emotional intelligence, and that's why it's really important.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Oker. That's good opinion because we are really know we are not individual person, but we are the part of our social life. Yeah, that's the point that I've got from you. So, what about others? Is there any thought that you would like to share? Um, Miss Nurul, are you there, Miss Nurul?
Yeah, um, okay, I would like to say that I think developing emotional intelligence is important because of this really give us the impact how we can what is that, how to manage our stress, and also it can increase how we can how to say communicate with other people, because like the speaker we said before, they said we live not alone, like yeah, we always surrounded by people with a different mentality, with different background and anything else. And also developing emotional intelligence, I think is important because of it really help us um increase our quality, because like social is really challenging. So if we can increase our quality, I think we can stand wherever we are. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nurul. Yeah, the point that I've got that we face uncertainty in our life. That's why uh we need more communication, yeah, communication skills. So move to the next one, Mr. Saifullah, please.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to speak. In my perspective, I think emotion is one of the main part of us. Because we are as human being, we need emotion to control our daily activities. So we need to manage our emotion carefully, because sometimes our emotion can greatly impact on our daily activities in a bad side or a good side. So I think it's really important to learn or to develop emotional intelligence right now, because it helps people understand and manage their emotion to get, maybe to interlace the friendship or their camaraderie with their surrounding, or maybe they can, take a best decision. Because sometimes if we're having a bad day on our office, maybe I think it leads to us to give, or maybe to make a bad decision for our organization or maybe for our company. So I think it would ruin the organization itself. So we have to manage and control our emotion and create from the emotional intelligence to to increase maybe our performance in life, especially in relationship or maybe in working. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So the point is, emotional intelligence will be more likely affects our final decision making. So we move to the next slide, guys. Okay, here from what we have said before, there is a sentence from Andreas Keller. He is OECD Director for Education and Skills. Like as I said before, guys, OECD is an organization for economic and cooperation and development that has been held this kind of international survey, including our nation, yeah, Indonesia. So he said that a large body of work shows that social and emotional skills support academic learning, help predict labor market and employment outcomes, affect individuals' health and well-being, and support healthy democracies. Consequently, they now appear in the curricula of many countries. So actually, even though this international survey conducted for 15 and 10 years old students across the world, but actually this emotional intelligence will be more likely impact to each of us, especially because we are as individual of social context. So this is the survey that has been in 2023. Actually, guys, the survey has been held in 2019 before the pandemic COVID-19. And then after 4 years ahead, there is also a survey that has getting involved 20 distributed like as beyond like as academic knowledge because it it is affected by many factors. As we can see, the first one is report higher social and emotional skills than older students, particularly in trust, energy, and optimism. And the second factor that may affect this social emotional is because they have a socio-economically disadvantage. So it will be more likely we can see the gaps such as in open-minded skills and also how they engaging with others. Well, the next question, guys, what are some factors may affect social emotional skills in socio-economically disadvantaged people are lower compared to those are advantaged? Anyone who wanna share your opinion? Okay, maybe from Mr. Sunshine. Would you like to share your opinion, Mr.?
Hello.
Hello, Mr.
Okay. Let me first read this. Okay, so the question is, disadvantaged people. Wow, this is truly a tricky question. Socioeconomically disadvantaged people are lower compared to. Wow. Okay. Let me try to digest first because it's complicated. Okay. All right. Okay. So, comparing the disadvantage to those who have certain advantages, of course, socioeconomically, they are completely in different levels because, like, for the advantage, they are under certain privilege where they can earn sufficient amounts of knowledge. They can have easy access to education, where it would be so much fundamental to foster the sense of maturity, where they can ultimately control their emotion better, and it would also develop their literacy toward how to regulate their mental. Meanwhile, comparatively, when it comes to disadvantaged people, socioeconomically, it would be evidence that the factors that strongly influence them would be on the accessibility. I mean, like they can how they can how can they manage their emotions, right? If they are not mentally stable, right? And there are a lot of factors there. I mean, like in terms of society and also economics. For example, like when you still need to consensus about what you need to eat today, okay, you would be easy to become outraged or angry, right? Because you do not have adequate amounts of something to eat, right? And most of the times, poor people or even like someone in hunger would be easily triggered, right? So thinking about how they survive in a day would be so hard or imposing for them, let alone thinking about controlling the emotion. Okay, so I think the most evident factors that would definitely impact socioeconomically disadvantaged people regarding how they can regulate their social and emotional skills would be the educations and the mental well-being. I think the correlations between education and mental would be so much significant. I think that's my comment, Miss Sakina.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine. So yeah, most of them are under privileged, yeah, uh, compared to those are stable, more stable. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine. Is there anyone who wanna share opinion about this topic, guys? Yeah, Bribtu Rejal. Hello, are you there? Okay, while waiting others, Mr. Saifullah,
Okay.
please.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Maybe I would like to, to give one example only to give a factor may affect socially emotional skill in socioeconomically environment, which I think the factor one of the most significant factor that maybe affect social emotional skill in economically environment for disadvantaged people are lower compared to those are advantaged because they have limited access to education. Because we see that maybe in our country there are many schools in remote area that they cannot provide some learnings in social emotional skill because they lack of teachers who can who have proficiency in maybe in psychology or maybe in emotional skills, so they cannot provide some learnings or maybe some programs for their students to how control their emotion and maybe how to develop their emotional skill or emotional intelligence. So it will be different with the people who are advantaged and they are studying in the maybe in the big cities, in the modern cities, that maybe in the schools they can get various programs regarding the social emotional skill, which can increase their emotional intelligence, and also it can increase their performance in education. So I would say that sometimes our people who are disadvantaged people, they cannot get some, and they have limited education, maybe limited education in emotional skills, so they cannot nurture the maybe the learning from the emotional skill and how to control and how to manage them correctly. So that's why I think this is one of the most significant factor which can affect social emotional skills if we compare between disadvantaged people and advantaged people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. So, actually, the qualities of the school they might access is is lower than people who can easily access a school teacher or some learning from their school about these emotional skills. So, is there anyone who would like to share? Maybe once more, Miss Ekalita, are you there?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I agree. I agree. The factors is economics and education background and also environment. Because as if you notice about the case that the teacher that takes down her pupil because they cannot afford to pay the institution fee of schools, it refers that the economic is most affected social emotional skill, like Mr. Sanchan said, the hunger people and they have lower economic, um, it makes them cannot use their sense and logic thinking right. Uh, because if they are born in the good education and good environment and also have welfare, social, economic background, of course, they will be maybe more modesty or more soft when they're dealing with their issues, right? That uh, if uh, if they have to dealing with their hard life, of course, sometimes it's very difficult for them to regulate their emotional feelings. Mostly if they are raised in an environment that there is many disadvantaged people and they didn't have a proper fulfillment for their right, and they only have obligations that their right is they are not used to be having their right fulfillment properly. Of course, it will be make them imbalance in life, right? I think all the people when they don't have um, proper fulfillment for their needs, of course, it will be make their emotional balance disrupted. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ekalita. Actually, I've got point about the intuition fee for enrolling a school, such as still become a challenge, yeah, for those who are in socioeconomically disadvantaged. So,
Yeah. Right.
yeah.
I mean, the teacher is in a lower economic and disadvantaged background, and the student is also have the same background. So it's like it's like push them into the conflict, right? And when you have you asking patience for people that always have a dealing for suffering and limitation in their daily life, of course it's very hard because if you go to with the welfare countries, sometimes if they have less fulfillment for their business, it's a small things, they will be like angry, right? When you don't do your job properly, and your boss or your your society will be asked more and demanding more. And in Indonesia, it's much farther than that. Sometimes people don't have fulfillment for their payroll, and sometimes the salary is delayed, something like that. And sometimes government cannot protect their society to having have a full stomach or um, making people can afford their family to support their family or they. And I think it's many complex problems, and that's why in some disadvantaged people, they are very hard to regulate their emotion because there's so much problem in their daily life.
Okay, thank you, Miss, for the explanation about this slide. So, is there anyone who wanna share their thought, or we move to the next slide? Okay, let's move to the next slide. Here, we can see, guys, not only the two factors that I've said before, that we have discussed before, but two others factors are gender, the students' gender in this international survey. The final result are, the first one is boys tend to report higher emotional regulation skills, particularly stress resistance, such as energy, trust, and sociability, than girls at age 15. So these gender disparities in these skills largely emerge in adolescence, except for stress resistance, where a difference is already visible at age 10. And the second result is on average, girls report higher tolerance, achievement motivation, like as empathy, responsibility than boys at age 15. So there are two kind of different between students' gender from this survey. And we move to the next slide. The next question is, how do we recognize emotions both in boys and girls? As we know, guys, emotion in this case not only telling us about how do we express our feeling, but more than that, we would like to dig more detail about their persistence, creativity, how do they be a sociable human being, and other factors. So, do you think there is a difference between emotion both girls and boys? Who wanna share their thought? Um, maybe Miss Fatima Zara, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
audible.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I will try to answer this question. Um, for me, in my opinion,
Hello, Miss. You are muted.
yeah,
Okay.
how about now?
Yeah.
Yeah, to recognize emotion in both boys and girls, we need to observe verbal and nonverbal cues, like facial expression, body language, and a tone of voice often the emotion state. Maybe, for example, like sadness might be shown through a quiet demeanor and lack of interest in activities, while anger might manifest as irritability or raised voices. As we know, so, like some boys, they like to hidden their anger emotion, right? Uh, than the girls, like maybe girls more have capability to hide their emotion. But some of them also sensible or show up or expressive by their emotion, and this is also depend on who is the person. I think maybe this is just I can say about this question. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Zahra. You're talking about different interests between boys and girls, right? And how do they express their feeling? Okay. Um, is there anyone who wanna share their thought? Your thought, guys? Mr. Rejal, Bribtu Rejal, are you there? Okay, there is no response. Maybe you only need to be a listener, yeah? Okay, Oker, Mr. Oker, please.
Yes. So how do you recognize it? I would say, I mean, since already a little bit mentioned, men and women, like we express our emotions much differently. I would say, like at least in my experience, on average, like women express it much more openly, but of course, we men we aren't completely cold-hearted, and so I would say, as a man, I can very easily recognize the emotions of other men, and I would assume here that for women it's the same. It's easier. Where the issues is like the other person. And there I have to say, on average, it's not that easy to guess the correct emotion all the time, except for very, very obvious ones, like crying or hurting, stuff like these, or like very like open anger. And otherwise, it is more of how well do I know the person. So I mean, for example, in a friendship, like or in a study group, you have people of different genders. Like you get to know each other, and over time, yeah, okay, you recognize, oh, okay, what emotions they feel, but it's much more intense, like in a relationship, in marriage. Like at some point, I will know my wife to like I just need to look at her for 1 second, and I know exactly what she's feeling. So yeah. So for in the same sex, it is pretty easy because we know it from ourselves, but across genders, we just need to get to know the other persons because different emotions are also expressed differently per person.
Okay, thank you, Mr. From your explanation before, you have said that actually you can easily understand from the similar gender, maybe boys or yeah, men, you can easily understand. So how can you know or what is the indicator that uh that's it the right emotion that you think from other men?
Um, okay, it's really difficult to point out like the exact thing. Okay, it is sometimes just very, very subtle things that you notice. I mean, I would say I'm just speaking from personal experience. Very often, I usually like when the emotion does not fit the situation. Okay, like I don't know, like I'm very angry because of another reason. Okay, but now I'm in my work group, and I don't want to bring my anger to the work group. Okay, so I try to hide it, but sometimes, of course, something slips. Okay, and it might it might be something simple like an eye twitch or so, but it's really hard to narrow it down. It's mainly it is just a feeling, and as a guy, it's much easier to recognize that in another guy than than with a woman because the small hints are that I see in men are the exact same hints that I sometimes give um, when it comes to a certain emotion. Whereas I cannot really read that like spontaneous and very fast with a woman I have just met.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. So anyone else wanna share your thought? Okay, Miss Fatima Azahra.
I just there is a pop up in my mind about this question. I got wanna give some addition about this question. Yeah, maybe for to recognize emotion, but boys and girls is depend on how close us. Maybe like our friends. When we close now with our friends, maybe we can observe what happened or how the patterns when they have the emotion. Maybe we we already recognize that this is a sensitive topic for them, so we can recognize the pattern that this is will make them sadness, maybe sad, maybe for example, or other emotions. I think like that the patterns and how we observe the people around us. I think like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Yeah, from your point is it relies on our closeness, right? So, Mr. Indre, one of, please.
Hello, is my voice audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that I do agree with the several explanations from another participants, but I'd like to add is um what one of the signs that's called by coping mechanisms that make us can recognize the emotions between boys and the girls. For the girls, may write something is like they try to talk to their friends, or they're crying as way to process emotions. So it's basically from the coping mechanisms that the girls do in that situation. So how about the boy? Well, the boys may express emotions. Yeah, is related to my experiences too as a boy. I'd like to do a kind of thing, try to express my emotion through hobbies is like sport, or sometimes aggressions, depending on how they've been taught to handle their feeling itself. So it's kind of the thing that, based on my perspective, that have a different coping mechanism between the girls and the boys. Yeah, for the boys, when they try to talk about their feeling, they try to talk about their emotions to another boy. Yeah, there are the several boys do like that, but it's unusual. Yeah, so I suppose that the girls do that kind of a thing massively than the boys. So yeah, it's one of them is talking about the coping mechanisms, and also another one is the tone of the voice. Yeah. Once again, it's like what the speaker said before. It depends on the people, but we try to talk about what the majority of the boys. Yeah, when they got anger, for example, when they got uh something that feel uncomfortable in one situations. Yeah, there is a difference between the tone of their voice, yeah, between girls and also the boys. Yeah, this is my opinion, because I didn't, or I don't do research well also about this situation. I just trying to talk what can come out in my mind right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. for nice explanation about there is a term coping mechanism, yeah, that's really different both of girls and boys. So, is there anyone um maybe from Miss Nurul also?
Maybe I just want to add about behavior. We can recognize it by seeing the behavior. Actually, I have experience when I teach a student about 4 years old. Both, I mean, like boy and girl, they have different way, different behavior when they want to show their emotion, and also to handle it, we have a different way like that.
Yeah, through different behavior, yeah. Thank you for sharing, Miss Nurul. So, is there any addition explanation from Miss Ekalita maybe?
I think the different the boys and girls in expressing their emotion is from babies. I mean, voice is refers to nonverbal expression is like body language and face expression, or like something that you can figure it out about their emotional condition. While girls is more often they they will be more honest about what they feel uh, through their communication expression. Like if they feel sad, they will be cry, and will when they anger, they will be talk and um, speak out about their anger expression. But I think boys is not like that, because maybe they have some some logical logical boundaries. Maybe they will think that if I do this, then uh maybe others will be feel like that, like that, like that. But girls, I think it's more spontaneous. Mostly if they feel something burden in their emotion, they will be um without hesitation to speak out of what they really feel.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Also, we are talking about the difference between how do they express their emotion. So we move to the next slide. Um, well, the slide is from one of the task performance skill that has been measured in OECD's survey is persistent. Like as I said before, and here is the result, guys. Boys report higher persistence than girls on average in some sites. In Korea, United, in Arabic, Finland, Turkey, China. But I mean, it happens reverse trend found in others, like is Indonesia, in Kudus, Colombia, Peru, and Spain. So there is a different result that has been reported in this survey that persistence in girls actually is higher than boys in Indonesia, yeah. So I wanna hear your thought, guys, that in what occasion persistence seem different, both girls and boys? Or you may share your opinion about this result. Yeah, just go on. Maybe from anyone who wanna share?
What the meaning of persistence?
Endurance. It has similar meaning with endurability. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Oker, please.
So one thing, like on average, boys are more competitive and confrontational. So I would say persistence, like in a competition, is that like so there I would, for example, see that boys would be more persistent on average, and the same goes with like I mean just talking about schoolboys or so, like a fight is happening, okay, and on average, like the boys, they won't let it slide, so they persist on pursuing the issue that obstructed the peace, and that's saying. So so it's like persistence in anything that is about competitiveness, I would say.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, Mr. Is there anyone who wanna share your thought? Except in competitive ways, maybe. So we have newcomer here. Hello, Miss Kustanti Utami. Are you there?
Hello, I'm here. No, sorry, I just joined because I have a class before I take this. I have the IELTS class for free IELTS class. So I attend that class before I attend this.
It's
just
okay, Miss.
maybe I will share my opinion, my thought about this. Actually, I'm not sure when you're explain about the persistence is endurance or something. I thought that obviously persistence can look different between girls and boys, but this is depend on the society or culture or environmental influence because because every gender or gender issues right now is very different with the in a different country, and but thing like a cultural expectation about boys and girls, it's shaped by expectation around the gender roles in every country. Like in my country is in Indonesia. Hello?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry,
please.
sorry. Like in Indonesia, we have a different persistence about the boy and girls. Like I thought in Indonesia, more people have a high expectation from girls. A lot of context like I think Indonesia is sexist countries. It means like example, if you are a household, you have a lot of chores that you have to do as a woman or as a mom, as a wife, than the boys. But in modern people, I think if men or boys from children, they see about the responsibility in every situation is same between the genders. It's like a gender equality. I think it's more issues in my country, and nowadays I think a lot of women have think about it, so they actually have ability to work and can work-life balance at home, but in patriarchy concept, it's nonsense. This is my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss, for sharing. Your point is it's about gender inequality in our country, right? So, is there anyone who wanna share your thought? Okay, maybe from back to Mr. Sansan. Do you have any opinion about this?
Okay. Okay, let me read first. Since different. In what occasions? I think it's when the clash of interests happen, right? So the moment they both have a different interest, the different types of persistence will remain there and will be so much evident, right? Because girls and boys are created or born with a distinctive characteristics, like what generally people know. Um, Girls, for example, tend to focus on um, relieving themselves by being listened, and they tend to play more with their hearts other than their brains. I don't think I don't. I means I don't want to say that women are not clever, even if like when it comes to persistence, when it comes to studying, I think they have a growing mindsets to ceaselessly study. Okay, I think this is a good parameter to show the significant difference between boys and girls. Meanwhile, I can say that most of boys are clever, but they tend to be lazy, and that's why they can be easily left behind. Okay. Another example would be by what I told you before. It's like when women or the girls wants to be heard, but boys is like wants to be accepted. Okay, because like relying on their logics, boys just wants to have partners that would be a good or equal how to say, it's like friends in communicating any problems they have, so they do not only be the one or be the ones to digest every problem, but they can mutually share the way how to solve something better or faster. However, the persistence keep going. I mean, like the classes persistence keep happening between girls and boys, but we need to see this more from the perspective of how we can fill in or we can complete each other, because the persistence that actually missed in the boys can be found in the girls and on the other way around. For example, like when we have a spouse or girlfriends or a girlfriend, a boyfriend that probably lazy in terms of studying diligently. So the girlfriends can be a vector for him to study even harder. And on the other way around, when the girl is missing something in in revealing the most effective solutions, girls, the girlfriends can rely on their boyfriends on how to find something to be solved faster from the communications they have. I think that's my comment, Ms. Sakina. Thank you.
Okay, nice explanation. You point that every human being has their potential, not only girls but also boys, and um the way boys and girls are different in what is that? Yeah, boys need to be accepted and girls need to be heard. Yeah, you have said before. So move to yeah, Miss Nurul, please.
Okay, okay. I will add one. Maybe it's referred to how to face the problem and solve it. Back then, when I took my study in university, sometime we got some mini assessment, and when I compare between girl and boy, they have different way. Yeah, they have different way, totally different when they have to face that assessment. Girl finish assessment in a long time. They needs a long time, takes time. But boy, finish it. They finish it earlier. And during presentation, I just realized something that a girl too complicated, and also many, what is this? What is that? Many, how to say, pertimbangan? Yeah, like that.
Consideration.
What consideration? Yeah, when we want to answer the question or if we want to solve the problem, we need more consideration before we over it to all people. But meanwhile, when I see the boy, they do it faster. They have a different way to think about the problem, and the answer is like more logical. And also, most people can accept that. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you for sharing the instance in students among students in your school era. Yeah. So is there anyone who wanna share your thought? Okay, maybe we will continue to the next slide, guys. So there are potential effects of online or hybrid schooling on the development of social and emotional skills, especially for the social ones. So, like as I said before, guys, this survey that has been held across the world, it has been in two rounds. The first one in 2019, the second one in 2023. So in 2019, before the pandemic COVID era, uh, this survey has been conducted, and the difference between the recent research shows that there is a differentiation between how these emotional skills spread among students during the pandemic and also right now, because as we know that there are many advanced technology right now. Yeah, maybe there are any other factors that might affect this one. So, what do you think, guys? How could it be that the potential of hybrid schooling start from the pandemic COVID-19 until right now, it is decreased the emotional skills, specifically when we are talking about the social ones. Is there anyone who wanna share your thought? We have newcomer here, Miss Niza. Are you there?
Hi, Miss. Yes, I'm here. Thank you for giving me the opportunities. Maybe in my point of view, I think the differences is in the communication skills. Like, uh, there is a big differences when we have a communication directly with people rather than from online or from social media, because as we see when we interact with them directly, we can see their what's that their intention. We can also train our sensitivity to know their gesture, and then their style of communication. But in online, we cannot see the way they uh, communicate with us. We cannot see directly that their gesture, and or maybe the intonation of that communication skill. So sometimes uh, we lose that kind of sensitivity when we are tend to use more in online. I think that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you for sharing. It's just only about how we know each other when we meet directly, yeah. We can see others' eye contact, gesture, yeah. Thank you for sharing, Miss. Is there anyone who wanna share your thought? Bribtu Rejal, are you there? Do you wanna share anything about this slide? About your opinion? Okay, there's no response. Okay, guys.
Okay, I think I want to share my opinion about this.
Yes.
I think about the online or hybrid schooling can have a significant effect on the development of social and emotional skills, particularly for students who are naturally more socially inclined. Like um, my my cousins, when in pandemic era, they have to work school from home, and they have to do work everything from by gadget. So they are like and more than an hour or takes a lot of time on their phone, and their limited face-to-face interaction in such learning environments or something. So um so the parents give the child opportunities like nature activities like gardening or something, and it's helpful a lot because when they are a lot of in gadget or in computer, like consequently students maybe now face challenges in developing emotional intelligence, like really easy. They don't have a conflict resolution or something. I think they need more time to social activity or something. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Yeah, most of us, not only students, yeah, using we tend to try using our digital equipment tools just in case rather than make a direct communication. So that's the problem right now, I think. Is there anything or yeah,
In
maybe
my experience too, my children, I have a
yeah.
boy, 3 years old, and when my daughter, 6 years old, she tried to open like a YouTube Kids or something. After an hour they're watching, my children always angry and easy to angry with me and arguing something, not allow me to take phone. I think it's a really annoyed me.
Okay. Because they already rely on gadget, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think a gadget is it's bad for kids.
Okay. Without guidance from their parents, maybe. Okay, thank you, Miss, for sharing. So, we would like to continue to the next slide. We have discussed before about how impactful um, the social emotional learning, not only we are as people personally, but also for students who are studying in a school. So, do you think, guys, how can social emotional learning be improved within Indonesia's education system? Anyone wanna sharing? We have newcomer here. Um, Mr. Sony, are you there? Hello, Mr. Sony.
Hello, hi.
Yeah. Would you like to share your thought about this slide?
Okay, a little bit because this is the first time. I know emotional learning, especially for education system. How can social emotional learning? I mean, like ESQ or emotional, sorry, social question like that. So, yeah, of course, this improve Indonesian education system, especially when they try to organize their curricula and then the method of learning. Yes, I guess like this, miss, because this is the first time that I am a social emotional. Sorry.
Okay, Thank you for sharing. Yeah, in a national curriculum, maybe, yeah, you have said before. Thank you for sharing. Maybe from Mr. Arayun, do you have any thought about
All
this
right, great.
question?
Thank you very much. Great. Let's move to the place with the second. How can social emotional learning improve within Indonesia's education system? To what extent this question is if we go to emotional learning, if the teacher consider or sorry tends to uh, increasingly or takes care about emotion, what what does it mean of creating or proliferating the meaning of educate or education is because education uh, for me personally how we create the curiosity to the student as opposed to how to say opposed to saying that please kid please student you must be smart, you must be smart to learn everything. I disagree with that statement. Why we have to boost them with the word of smart? Why can we create them to be curious? Because curiosity will be diverse, will be diverse because the children of the kids are interested in learning everything. If they want to be expert at one thing, one subject, they will find, they will seek of what they want to do to be their career, to be their problem solving. That's what I translate. That's what I define related to education. Because education for me is problem solving. Not only getting certificates, not only getting a good score or good grade for me. It might be beneficial for the long term career. And also, I don't normalize that getting certificate is not important or crucial. And as a general, I think that education is talking about problem solving. When someone can solve the problem individually, so they can create the impact through the small circle, small system, and in order to create a bigger impact, it depends on how impact they want to create it. They want to solve. That's what I want to do. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. So the point I've got is how does the education itself give long-term beneficial impact? Yeah, for not only for educators but also for the students itself. So is there anyone? I think there is newcomer here also, Miss Nat.
Yes, I'm here. Um, okay, regarding to this question, it's an interesting question because first of all, Indonesia has no blueprint of the curriculum. So it's hard to talk about social emotional learning because the teacher itself do not feel happy to teach sometimes because there's so many administration thing that they have to prepare regarding to no blueprint for the curriculum. So, but let's say then how to improve that. So, social emotional learning, I believe it is nurture. So, students or kids are not born with good social emotional, but they're nurtured at school. They see, they copy what they see, what they feel at school. So, if the environment is not supporting them to show social emotional, they will tend to be silent or ambitious in negative way. So I will, to improve that, first, I believe that a kind teacher is not enough. Teacher must give them space to show their personal emotion. And then we have to stop believing that there is an extrovert and introvert, because in between of that, they have to be appreciative. But how do they know the good way to appreciate other people if they don't see it in their environment? So teachers must also prepare for that space. So the focus is not to make them only smart, but willing to learn and willing to appreciate. So then to improve social emotional also, not only at school, of course, their parents, their family, that's the foundations of organization, which then they have to learn it also from their big family. So I believe that it's a very hard thing to do, social emotional learning, compared to like cognitive, because social emotional learning also, I mean, in Indonesia, we learn that Indonesian students must do the gotong royong, must be kind, must be supportive, but do the society show it to them? So then how do they copy social emotional if the surroundings are not showing so? So to improve that, the citizen also need to show that. That's all I can say, Miss.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Miss Nat. So the point I've got is the students need to give more space, in their school or in a closest environment. So there is newcomer also here, Miss Henny. Are you there, Miss Henny?
Hello, Miss.
Hello, Miss.
Okay, you clear my voice clearly? You hear
Yeah.
my voice? Okay. So sorry because I'm a bit late joining this conversation, this Zoom meeting. So I try to give my opinion through this topic you've given. For me, how can social emotional learning be improved within the Indonesian education system? I could say it's good enough if we can integrate social emotional learning and education system in Indonesia, but we have to know that, as I know that social emotional learning refers to the process where the individuals, especially students, they tend to develop their skill, or they can recognize or manage their emotional, their feeling, how to build their healthy relationship with people surround them, where they can make a good responsible or a decision as a decision maker. But when we want to integrate with social emotional learning, we need to know about the system, educational system, and into the curriculum. We can apply this, related to national curriculum, as long as the school can include the lesson, because lesson is a part of regular subject like Bahasa Indonesia or Pancasila or civics education and religion, because three of them, I mean that a part of them is really important, because they will learn how to speak well, how to behave, how to socialize with people and each other. And the second, I guess it's we have to invite, the professional development or kinds of teacher training for the teachers, or like school management as an educators, because they are a part of the school, they are the integral factors of the school, and what they have to do, they have to focus to their emotional awareness and how to give a solution, how to deal with the conflict, and how they try to make empathy or positive communication with their student. This is from me, Miss. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for sharing. You have said about how the social emotional learning become integrated lesson in school. So move to the next speaker, maybe Mr. Gianar.
Yes. Hello,
Yes.
Miss Sakina. Thank you for having me here. So just join and try to catch up the topic. uh, so the question is like, how can social emotional learning be improved with the Indonesian education system? I think it's a tough question, and I'm not really know about how to answer it. But just try, since this is community based on enhancing English speak. So just try to arise some opinion. So I think like social emotional learning is kind of issue in not nowadays, but maybe before we still in high school or maybe in junior high school. It's never ending issue, right? So yeah, incorporating like this thing, social emotional learning, I believe it needs like, how to say it, a multifaceted approach, like integrate a cultural, structural, and maybe some pedagogical changes, and it needs like really exhausted effort maybe to do that. But maybe the first thing we need to consider is about how we can incorporating these things, social emotional learning, in our curriculum. So maybe it should be like formal, included in our national curriculum in Indonesia as maybe a core subject, and it mentioned like with the clear focus how to like this, like a self-awareness, self-regulation, and social awareness is really mentioned in that curriculum. And what else? Maybe should be aligned with the Indonesian values and tradition. So make it like student more relatable for the student. And the second one, maybe yeah, we need the professional teacher, right? I mean, like how we can have a good output if we don't have any like good, not really good input, but the processing matter. So the teacher training and professional development, I think, is necessary. So maybe teacher should receive a regular professional development to make us make a like how to say, like in line with what is the perception of self social emotional learning itself. And maybe there are like some workshop or training program for the teacher that indeed we need. Not really, I mean, like for this program it's really hard because there are like a lot of school in around Indonesia from Sabang until Merauke, so it needs like how to say, like cumulative or maybe step by step. And what the next one? Maybe we need to promoting supportive school environment. So like school should be like give a space where the student feel like emotionally supported, and like building like, you know, like there's a program counseling service and maybe anti-bullying campaign. So we need like that environment for building this social emotional learning. And what else? Oh, maybe the important one is the parental community involvement. So how we can build this, I mean, make this social emotional learning if the parent not support, not involved in this program. So community and parents is really important part how this program can maintain, and collaborating with the local community maybe to support this social emotional learning. That's maybe. Then the last one, maybe since we live in this era where the AI is everywhere, so maybe we can use the technology and resource to combine or maybe to enhance this breakthrough in social emotional learning. That's maybe from my opinion, Kak Sakina. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. There are comprehensive approaches, yeah, among cultural and
Yeah.
also structural, maybe, yeah. Thank you for sharing. Maybe last from Nurul before we move to the next slide.
Okay. I think social emotional learning could be an interesting idea if we really can apply in Indonesian education system, because we already know the importance of what is this emotion intelligence, and if we can apply that in school, it's really give a big impact for our student. Actually, actually I teach at any level, but I want to explain a little bit about my experience when I teach in the lowest level. Indonesia, I think, can make, can apply social emotion and emotional learning in any level with a different way. And one of them, maybe I can share a little bit in my school. In kindergarten level, actually we don't put social emotional learning as the subject, but we make that, what is that? It's not like the real subject, but we often offering about social emotional learning because of kindergarten is really the foundation to create the healthy emotion. We try to what is that? We try to introduce about who are you. We are human coming from with anger, with this, like this, and then we talk, or we explain about what is anger, what is envy, and then what situation can mention you are angry, and then we tell them how to face it, like that. Because I think it is really important why we have to tell about that with our student, because of mostly in my school, in the lowest level in kindergarten, mostly my student live with their mate rather than with their parent. That's why I think as children, they have to know about their self, and then what they face in the right way, angry, envy, or what, and else like that. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Nurul, for giving us an example in kindergarten phase. Yeah. So let's move to the next slide, guys. Supporting emotional intelligence development, like the speakers before said, that it's not only the assignment for teachers, but also we are as people around children, we are as adult, maybe, yeah. The first one we can do is be an example in expressing and managing emotion. The second one is how we encourage open discussion of feelings and experience, yeah, that we can show to the children. So the next slide is, let's try some self-regulation activities, everyone. This is the first one. There is 5 sense. How do we realize that that ourselves are here to, yeah, make sense. I mean, closest to our sense, the thing that we can taste, the things that we can smell, that we can hear, we can touch, or, yeah, that we can see from our eyes. The next is emotion bottles. We may show our feelings and fill out to the emotion bottles about the expression that we want to show. So do you have unusual ideas to do some self-regulation activities, guys? Maybe from what have you done before, or what have you taught to your children, to your students, maybe if you are a teacher, or yeah, maybe you may share. Is there anyone? I see newcomer here, Miss Nadia. Are you there, Miss Nadia?
Hi, yeah, I'm here. So, thank you for the opportunity. So, regarding to unusual idea, I don't know whether is it unusual. I think it's just unusual because many people still don't realize that it is important. But actually, it is something really something very usual and everyone need to do. Like, for example, to do self-regulation or really feel your emotion, we need to listen to sad songs or watch sad movies, talk to people about our sadness, really embrace our feeling. Maybe it's not a sadness, our fear, our trauma, emotion, or even happiness. Like, because in our society, especially Indonesia, this kind of self-regulation is something that people think it's not important, and we have this kind of ideas to embrace toxic positivity. So everything related to self-regulation assumed as unusual. Well, actually, we have to start normalize these ideas that people think it is unusual to be more usual, like this kind of putting more emotional awareness in education system. This is a really a radical idea that need to be implemented in our society, not just education system, but in every level, and it should be comprehensively applied to make it successful. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss, for sharing. Is there any thoughts from Mr. Angga? Hello, Mister. Are you there? Okay. Maybe from Mr. Sony. Back to Mr. Sony. Do you have any opinion?
Do you have unusual ideas to do some self-regulation activities? Uh, for me, based on my experience, that just inhale, take a deep breath.
Okay.
Then, what else again? Don't forget to consume mineral water so much. It's a self-reflection. And not now, I guess it's because we are in raining season. Don't forget when the rain comes forth. So I guess it's the best one. You try to go outside and try to feel the weather. It's very cool, and I don't know how to say hujan-hujanan, right? Jangan hujan-hujanan, I think like that. So just what the feeling the weather only. That is mine, I guess. Thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Uh, Maybe we move to next slide. Okay, this is the way that we can do positive self-talk, yeah. Like we make special cards filled with positive praises. Yeah, the praises that you wanna make is according to you, according to your condition. Maybe this is one of the way to have self-regulation. So the next question is, what can you do to spread joy to those around you? Because we are part of social life, right? Maybe we back to Miss Ekalita.
Mm. I think this criteria is through jokes maybe, or maybe like being listening, being listening your friend, something like that. Or I mean that sometimes people like to be like we are expecting that like words or emotion expression and not not giving them a hard expression or something that disturbing them. Yeah, something like
Okay, thank you for sharing, Miss. Anyone who wanna share your thought?
Yes, I raised my hand.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Miss.
And then I lowered it again.
Okay.
Before that, is it related to the students in the classroom or personal questions?
Yeah, it's according to you. Maybe personal one. Yeah.
Okay, but I will connect it to the class because I'm a teacher. So, because I believe spread joy. Joy is not about big things like giving smile, talk with courageous, talk nice things, even though you want to criticize something, but sometimes talking in nice tone is very important. So, to spread joy is not me, it's just, for me, it's not only like to be kind always, but to be honest. So sometimes it's hard to criticize other people or to tell the truth, but again, we want, I personally sometimes want other people to be better. So I put the tone in good ways and then tell what should I tell. So, I'm not trying to faking it. So for my students, I always tell them it's okay to ask something, to criticize something, but again, you must always show respectful manner to your friend and to yourself, because showing that showing appreciation, for example, if their friends is talking in front of people and they just simple as knocking their head, giving smile, or if there is a question and answer session and they ask, it's already showing respectful. So that's also part of spreading joy. So I sometimes familiarize them with open gesture classes. So it's hard to tell. It's okay to tell hard thing, but still in a good way. So it's not to criticize to hurt, but it's for their development, for their friends' development also. That's what I do.
Okay, thank you, Miss. So I think we would like to move to the next slide because yeah, uh time is almost over, yeah. So from this slide, guys, can you describe a time when someone helped you feel better when you were sad? What things they do to help you? Anyone who wanna share? Maybe from Mr. Angga, are you there? Oh, maybe back to Mr. Sunshine. You may share to us.
Right. Okay, I think that have been like joyful moments that can only happen when somebody can embrace us for who we were, who we were and who we are. Because like at that very moment, we might see sparks of lights. We might be able to even save ourselves just by being listened by others. I think it was okay. I don't know. It's like the moment when I struggling to get scholarship. I think after having a hard times to be left behind by so many of my friends obtaining scholarships, but at that very moment, I start to feel that it's kind of necessary for me to ignore my expectations, to abandon my excitements on getting scholarship at that very moment, because the moment I extend and I put higher my expectation, it will bring me even lower or deeper uh, to 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 a feeling of anxiety and remorse. And that's why that was a moment where my friends, just like my circle, they came at me and we talked about this, and I was not alone, and everyone's also struggling in this process. And yeah, I was like, okay, I think uh, knowing that we are not alone suffering, it kind of strengthen our willingness to keep going with our struggle. I think that's from me, Miss Sakina.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine, for sharing. Miss Nadia.
So, in my opinion, it is very helpful if someone being there for you, there, but just being there and give you affirmation or just paraphrase what you feel or just say, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I know that. Or just giving like changing the sentence that you tell them and uh it's like giving understanding, giving affirmation that what you feel is valid. It's I think that's the most important thing. It means that you are being there for them. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Um, Actually, I still have to slide. I would like to finish it first. Okay, the next slide is actually people, yeah, especially like as we know, it happens in most of women that they have mood swing. So like a weather, it can be changed into uh rain, into hot, yeah, something like that. So if your emotion or your feeling like the water, so what type of water can you identify with yourself right now? Maybe 1 or 2% can share your opinion. Miss Henny, maybe? Are you there?
Hello, Miss.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for giving me time to express about this opinion. But now, seriously, I'm a bit sleepy. I'm a bit sleepy and
Dikit aja,
tired.
Mas.
Yeah.
Dikit aja.
But as a women, I've been in a situation like you said before when we were in a mood swing or when we had our own period, yeah, premenstrual syndrome. I am in a bit types of this weather, yeah, can be calm, angry, sleepy, sad, happy, worried. It cover all. But it depends on you yourself or we ourselves whether we can control our emotions, yeah, when we have to face the people surround us or in front of us. We need to think and we try to control, yeah, if we are not in a good mood, yeah, so we try to control it, but it's hard, yeah, if we are tired or we were not in a good mood or we have many things to do, yeah, but we are as a human we need to control, yeah, for this. Thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you, Miss, for sharing. What about from Miss Niza? Are you there, Miss?
Hi, Miss Akina. Yes, I'm here. For now, just same with Miss Henny. I'm a little bit sleepy and tired, but uh, in the other weather, like being calm, angry, sleepy, I think that's all happen during uh the day. It depends on the situation. And then I think as we already grew up, I think that I already can manage it. I mean, like when I'm angry, I know how to deal with it, and uh, I hope that it's not giving a bad impact to the others. Or maybe when I feel worried, I can know how to reduce my worry. So yeah, I think that's for me, Miss.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss. I wanna hear from Mr. Gianar. Are you
Yes.
there? Yeah.
Hello, Miss Akina. Yeah, this really personal question. Yeah, for identify with our moody. So yeah, as a man, so sometimes I feel sleepy every single day. So but I try to how to say it. So I think like I'm kind of like mood. I don't know is moody or not, but sometimes I feel like I'm really have enthusiasm in the beginning. So let's say I am trying to have like obtain something new or maybe how to say it, like find the new thing and then I enthusiasm to know and then really curious about it. And after that, like if you already get oh that's the point, and then I just feel down. I mean like didn't have any interest anymore. So kind of I believe that's not really good. So the things like to maintain, right? So like maybe for example like long time like 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I tried to enhance myself to learn English. At the time maybe I I have some community. I mean, like join every community and practice. But at the moment, I mean, at that time, I feel like exhausted, and I try to not join some community again. And but it's not good. So I try to maintain that feeling, like this one, Ota. I know Ota like 2 years ago maybe. So I try to join this community every single week because only once a week, right? To maintain or just to update the information to sharing knowledge, and it's very good. So this kind of weather maybe sometimes I have really good mood to know something, and suddenly like oh I don't have any interest anymore. So this kind of maybe swing mood. And what else? And maybe sometimes I feel worried about, let's say, if I face some not really like maybe new topic because I'm pursuing my master degree now, so there's like some topic I'm not really familiar with it. So I must like study. I mean, like, I must know what is kind of things, what kind of the topic is. So it's kind of feel worried because maybe some of my friends like they better than me, they know better than me. So that's the feeling I know, I feel. And like this, maybe in OTA, for example, again. So we have some interesting topic, right? So sometimes it's like, what kind of topic it is, and then I try to myself to like know more about this topic and like a googling and like find some, oh, that's the topic talking about. So that's maybe the my emotion whether are kind of I can describe right now. Thank you,
Okay.
Sakina.
Thank you for sharing. Actually, we are at the end of the meeting. So this is the slide meeting from our discussion today, guys. Just rely on our feeling right now also, but I would like to say this sentence: whatever mood you are in or emotion you are feeling at the moment, you are valid and we understand. So that's the end of my slide and our nice discussion today. Thank you very much for your kind attention, everyone. And forgive me if I'm wrong or I have mistake because this is my first time to be a moderator in OTA's weekly sharing. So I'll take it back to Mr. Aryan. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Sakina, for being for moderating this discussion. I'm glad that I couldn't focus on joining the discussion during this meeting for 2 hours because I have uh, I have another meeting. I have another meeting since this morning and I haven't finished yet. So I do not give any for today. I just say that whatever your level of English is, try to practice more. If you can take it while uh, taking care of grammatically, why not? That's what I can share. Maybe Mr. Sunshine or uh, has an additional correction because Mr. Sunshine has joined the meeting earlier. I assume that it is the how to say the member that already joined. This meeting like Miss Nadia, Miss Niza, Mr. Sony has over 600 something. Miss Henny, Mr. GNR lives in Japan. He is maybe he is good at Japanese right now rather than English. But I will give an appreciation to our moderator today, Miss Akina. Let me take a picture to you. Let me count. Wait. All right. Okay. Miss Akina, I will take a picture. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Now for others, I allow you to open your video, please, and let me take a picture to you. Oh, please. Others, can you open your video, please? We are going to take a picture. And haven't been. Wait. Okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Once more. Okay, once more, once more. You may change your style. 1, 2, 3, go. Sunshine, do you like a cat? Why? You're Thank you very much for your coming, everyone. But before I end this meeting, when I say Otak community, you may answer yesterday, you said tomorrow. Otak community.
Yesterday we
Yesterday
said
we say
Thank you
tomorrow.
very much. Happy weekend, everyone, and see you tomorrow on Monday. Monday is funny day. Thank you. See you. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you,
Salam.
Mr. CNR. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigato mas.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, wait. Bye.
Bye.